welcome to this lecture. So in the previous lecture we handled this level state function and we created this state and check for the load screen level and if it is frozen or not in this level. So let's implement this score, update score images, and similarly these two functions. So here get outside this scope and define that function, and the first function, let me just copy it and just paste it here, and it will just take the self. So when we call this, we have score images and the score. That means we have images here, and we have also passed self.score. That means we have score here. So now we get this score and images. So basically this update score images is to update what numbers are to be bleeded for the score. So for that we'll just pass index here. So index should be len of images. Since the index will just work with the for loop, that means we have to just minus with 1 because the loop start always basically from the 0. So I'll just start, that is for digit, in reversed. So we have now reversed. So this reverse should be string and score. So just convert this score to our string and just reverse that score. Basically this is to bleed the score. So for that we just create this rect. Rect would be out of this image and just get the image, all of this image, and convert to rect. That is, just call this rect. And next thing, we'll just make this images, and this index is to reference for all the image, and just pass here character. So call this character class. So in this character, what you're gonna do is we'll say self dot image dict. So inside this you just pass digit. So this is the way basically you get the image out of the index by just referring to this character, and you just pass in here image. You should pass, that is a dictionary, with that digit, that means dictionary of the image. So next thing, we'll also now create the images index, the new rect here, and just assign it as the previous rect, and this index should be now decrease with 1 for each loop. So this will be our update score images in order to bleed the score. So this index plays important role in order to bleed that score. So next function here is update countdown clock. So let me just copy all of it and just define here and just pass, that is self level info now. So just make sure you pass level info, and now we'll just update the current time here. So we'll say self dot state. So we'll just check state is, that is fast countdown. If the state is fast countdown, then we'll just make this time to be decreased with 1 because it is a first countdown. And similarly we'll just make now, that is, we'll just first check, we'll just check again if the level info, and just give here, that is to check this current time. So it should be current time, and just subtract with this current time. So if it is greater than maybe 400 millisecond, then we'll say now the current time, because this is basically updating the count clock. That means we are just dealing with the current clock. So now that should be assigned as c dot current time, and again you should decrease the time with 1. And now it's time to just make this countdown image. Let me say it should be countdown images as an empty list, and this countdown images should be labeled now. So that means we just have to call this create label function with this list, that is basically countdown images list, and we have to just pass a string. Let me just say time, just get the time and convert it to the string with this function str function. And now it's time for the x and y, and x, let me say x should be 645 and y would be 55. So after we created this label, now it's time to check for these countdown images. So if the countdown images, that is the list basically, and if the countdown, let me say it should be self.countdown images. Self.countdown images is basically less than 2. If the length is less than 2, then what should you do is, we'll just loop it in this range of 2. And now it's time to insert, that is here is, let me say, countdown images, and just insert that images. So let me just call that insert method. In that images, basically it should be first this countdown images, and we'll just call here insert method. And this insert method will obviously take the indexes where we should insert, and similarly the character here, that is the object basically. So we'll just pass here character, and the dictionary, obviously this character will take dictionary here. If you go here, that is the image, so image will be here, image dictionary. So let's pass that image dictionary as image dict, and just inside here let me pass just o. So after that we have to come out of this loop and just set label here, that is label rect, set label rect, and this is new function to deal with. And here you should just pass something, that is countdown images that we just have here, and the position. So 6, let me just say that should be 645 and 55. So after this we have to just deal with this update coin total. So let's go here and define that update coin total, and this will take the self and label info. So let's define this function. So basically what this function does is really interesting. It basically updates the coin total and adjusts label accordingly. So main task is to update the coin total. So we'll just make a coin total here, a variable, and then let's get that from this label info. C dot, we have coin total, maybe yes, coin total. And now it's time to just make this string for this coin total, that is coin string, that is just converting this number to the string by this str function, and just pass here the coin total. So after that we'll just check if the length of this coin string is less than 2. What you're gonna have is, we'll just use this coin string, and this should be here O, and add it to this coin string. If it is not, or if it is greater than 2, let me just define it in elif. If the length of the coin string is greater than 2, then what you're gonna have is, we'll say that is coin string should be here OO, else what you're gonna do is this coin string should be now something that is here, just pass an asterisk here and just add it to coin string. And at last we have to create this x and y out of it. So x should be self dot count, and we have coin count images here. So let me see coin count images and get this O, and just get the rect x, and similarly y. So y should be self dot coin, similar to that of x. We have coin count images and get that of O and rect of x, that is y now. So we have now x and y which should be labeled. So in order to label that, we have to just create now label list. So that should be in this coin count images, and if you see here, this is the level list. So you could have guessed, now it's time to call this function, that is create label function. So where is that create label? So it must be somewhere here. Let me check it here. It should be before update, maybe it is. So it is here, that is a create label function. So we have to call that. So in order to call that, we'll just call from this current object and just pass this create label, and the first will be the list, that is label list. In this case we have this count images where we have just created, so just pass that coin, and it should be self dot coin count images. And next would be our string. Obviously we have the string coin string, and just pass this yux that we created here out of these images and getting the rectangle x and rect y. So just give that position here, and we have now label.